Hey y'all, we're on week 4 of season 3 of the Andy Griffith Show. This week's episode title is Andy and Opie, Bachelors. Barney, what's up this week?
I'm out of town for the whole week, on vacation. And Aunt Dee is about to leave town too. She's gonna go visit her Aunt Louise for a few days. So Andy and Opie go see her off on the bus, and then Nurse Peggy comes up, offering to help Andy and Opie while Aunt Dee is gone. And Andy says no thanks. And Floyd overhears this and says it sounds like Nurse Peggy is interested in Andy. And that night, Andy cooks their first supper too long, and it burns. And Peggy comes over and sees the mess in the kitchen, and she says she'll cook something, and she throws them out of the kitchen.
And she cooks a wonderful supper with a beautiful table of flowers and candles.
And after supper, she sings on the front porch while Andy plays guitar. And then Opie goes to bed, and Peggy goes to tucking in. And she says she wants to come over the next night too and cook supper.
Plus she brings Andy lunch the next day in the courthouse like Aunt Bee usually does. And Floyd and Opie are there at the time. And Andy says, you don't have to do this. It's too much trouble. She says, no, she likes to.
And then Floyd goes walking out of the courthouse singing the wedding march. And Opie says, yeah, it's just like she and his daddy are married. And Floyd keeps pushing the toy when Andy gets a haircut. So he finally says, okay, to stop any further rumors, he's going to stop having Peggy over. So he calls her and cancels for that night. But that night, Opie doesn't like his daddy's cooking nearly as much as Peggy's. And their night on the front porch is not as fun either without Peggy.
But Peggy comes over later that night, even though Andy told her not to. And Opie says he's still hungry because he didn't like his daddy's cooking. So she fixes something for him, and she assures Andy she's not romantically inclined. She just wants to help out. So Andy feels better about it.
And also, with her there, things are much more comfortable between Andy and Opie, with a woman in the house. So Andy says she can keep coming to help, and he's not going to worry anymore about any more rumors. And sure enough, Andy catches Floyd starting a rumor about their engagement next time Floyd is on the phone.
So Andy has to clear that up. Will you be in next week's episode, Marty? We missed you this week.
Yeah, well, in episode 5, called The Cow Thief.
Well, good. We'll see you all then. Thanks for watching.